Hi friends. I did a haul today and I also had something I wanted to talk about before I left the house. So today we're gonna do a haul slash talking about that. I went to a lot of different places today because I got paid and I was like, I haven't gone out and bought myself things for like a minute. So I went to a lot of shops near me. The main thing I wanted to do was go to the beauty shop and get myself like hair care stuff. So I went to a beauty shop. I went to like thrift shops around here slash charity shops if you're British. And I think that's it. But first things first, I'm so happy actually because I found a refill shop near me like last summer when I was wandering around. If you haven't been to that one of those, it's basically like a shop where they have all of everything for sale in bulk, like all of these different types of foods. They have like grains, like you can get conditioner. It's like for sustainability purposes, you can bring your own containers and you can fill them up with all the things you need. And I was really good about going to shop for like my basics there. And then they said they were closing down. This was like, I don't know, maybe in like November or something like that. Like it was quite a while ago. And I get avoidant when things are ending. Like I'm not that great at ending. So I went one last time and then I like never went back over there, even though I like going in that area. So I fully thought that they just closed down and that I was never gonna go there again. I didn't want to walk by it because I felt too sad. But today I was walking past it because there's a charity shop near there that I like to go to, and they were open and they had basically people were so like they were so sad that it was closing down, but they basically got bought out by another refill shop. But it pretty much looked the same. They just had different products and like a new setup. So I was really happy. So I will be going back there. But if you haven't been to a shop like that, it's pretty cool, and it's really worth it to go there for like your staple items like rice, pasta and stuff like that, because it's nice because you don't have to pay extra for the packaging, so it actually turns out to be cheaper in the long run for a lot of different things, but it's also just good for the environment. So anyways, I was really happy today. I was like, I had such a good day and that was like one of the reasons. But okay, now we're going into the haul. We're starting with the beauty shop. I have a lot of good beauty shops around me. The reason I actually went today is because I was at the park yesterday and I saw this younger girl, like she's probably like 14 or something, and she was Indian, and she was actually their whole family was there, and they all had the most insanely beautiful hair I've ever seen. And Indian women, like I feel like they really know how to take care of their hair. And I've been growing my hair out. It's grown a lot since like in the last few months actually. I usually oil my hair pretty consistently, like at least once a week. But I make my own rosemary oil, and I use like super cheap from the store nearby, like Vatika garlic hair oil. But I wanted to try out an Indian one, so I got this one. It's called Dabur Amla hair oil. I think that's right. I've never tried Indian hair care before, but it's supposed to be really good. So I just really want to have like long hair, and I have really thick hair. I tried before to put like the test where you put your hair in the water and you see like what type of hair it is. I definitely have high porosity hair. I hope it'll be good. I don't know. I'm gonna try it out and see if it's good. And then while I was there, I picked up some other things that I needed. So I ran out of my lotion, so I just got a cocoa butter. That's what my mom always used herself when we were growing up, is she always used cocoa butter, and I never think to buy it because I'm always buying some like other like more cute looking brand with cute packaging, but cocoa butter smells so good and it just smells like my mom. But anyways, so I got this cocoa butter because I ran out of my lotion, and then I ran out of moisturizer too. So I just got this one. I don't know if it'll be that good. My neighborhood is very Middle Eastern. There's a lot of Middle Eastern people around here, so I think this is probably a Middle Eastern brand. Alziba, I don't know. But it's got sunflower, thyme oil, aloe vera, and vitamin E oil. And everything was cheap. This was like $3.99, $3.99, $4.49. I think I kept most things under £5 today, like everything I bought. Lastly, I just bought these little hairbands. So then I started thrifting after that. It wasn't part of my plan, but I just got too tempted and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go thrifting. The first thrift store I went to, I just got a few things. So I got I really want to go hiking more, so I've been stocking up at the thrift store on, like, when I see cute hiking clothes that are high quality or from brands that look nice, I get them because hiking stuff or outdoor gear is so expensive. It's like $60 or something if you go to the actual like mountain warehouse. So I got just this little it's from Mountain Equipment, and I got it for £2.25. It's not that fancy, but it just looks nice quality, and like it would be nice to hike in. So yeah, I got that first of all. The other thing that I got at that same charity shop, I thought this was so cool. Tea leaf reading cards. It's a little bit random, but I'm a big tarot reader. Like, I read tarot cards for people a lot. And this one is showing you how to read. I don't know if you've seen in Harry Potter, and like, I think it was the third movie where they're in their class for divination, and like they drink the tea, and there's like little bits of tea left at the bottom, and they have to read what it means. So I drink a lot of tea, so I've been wanting to do that. But yeah, so let me show you. Like, it's just cards, and it has all the different meanings. And so then I guess maybe I'll try it today. Like, you drink the tea, and then I think you kind of swirl around the leaves at the bottom, and you can see what they mean. So this is like an example reading. Ooh. You can see it has like a spider, a bird, a letter E, a chain, and it's just all the leaves. So I definitely want to learn how to do this so I can do my friends' tea leaves and my own, because like I said, I love tea. All that cost me was £4, which I think is pretty good. I think it's really cute in England. The stuff at the thrift store that's not clothes, they call it bric-a-brac. Like, anything that's like mugs or just like random stuff, it's called bric-a-brac. That's so funny. You don't see that in thrift stores in the US. Okay, then I stopped at my favorite thrift store ever. It's so good. Every time I go there, I find the most insane stuff. So I'm gonna show you the clothes that I got. So this one I thought was insane. Everything is under, this was $4.95, so under £5. It's just like a little like long sleeve, and look at the picture. Isn't it so cute? It says Unif, but I don't know if it's actually, Unif at all, because this is the tag. I'll show you. I'm gonna pull this off because I'm keeping this. I don't know if it's actual Unif, but I don't care, to be honest. And it looks really comfy and really cute, and I love the picture. And then this one is just H&M, so it's not like a fancy brand, but again, both of these were $4.95, so I actually wanted some more little summery tops because I don't really have that many right now. It's been really hot, so I thought this was pretty cute. Like, it's just a simple little white tank top, so yeah, I got it for £5. And then I'm a big jewelry person, so I feel like my jewelry collection is like my pride and joy, even though right now I've been so scared of losing my jewelry because I'm saving it so that I don't lose it, because my room is tiny and it's so hard to keep everything like good and like in good shape. But I've been really stocking up on my jewelry, and every time I go to this shop, they're so good. Like, the clothes there are really good, the jewelry is really good. Look at this one. Wait a minute, let me see if I can like get it to zoom. Can you tell what it looks like? It's got like these little like dragonflies, and it's got like a green rose, and then these little crystals, and it's so cute and whimsical. See, I got this for $3.50. And then these right here I just thought were really pretty. They're like this, like, I guess I was really feeling the green today, like this like jade green vibe, which is so cute. And it has like these little swirls. And this was actually on clearance, so it was $2.50. And then I'm wondering if these will be cute on me, but yeah, it was just $1.50. It was also on sale. And they're not hoops, they're just like, they kind of look like hoops though. I might try some of these on to show you really quick. Aren't they pretty? Look at that. Got them for like nothing. I was thinking today a lot about how, like, I think that thrifting is the most ethical or sustainable option, obviously. Like, it's good to thrift your things if you can, particularly for things that are, you can easily find at a thrift store, that like your basics and stuff like that. I just think it's good to be as sustainable as possible, and like sustainability is extremely important to me. But I was thinking, am I still gonna be thrifting? Like, I'm always having to think about what I'm gonna do when I'm rich. Look how cute. because I'm planning on being rich, so I have to be prepared, right? But I was like, am I gonna still be thrifting when I'm rich? And I was thinking like, I don't know if it's really ethical actually to thrift when you're rich, even though I think it's like ethical to be sustainable. But I was thinking like, particularly because I was not raised with a lot of money. Like, we pretty much only, we mostly thrifted when I was a kid. If we were to go to buy clothes from like Target or something, it was a very special occasion. And definitely if I were to buy something special, it was going to be at like Target. Like, it wasn't going to be at like, even like Justice. I never shopped at Justice or anything like that. So it was really special. Or sometimes my mom would take us to Forever 21 once we got to be a little bit older, and we could pick out like one thing, two things. And even to me back then, Forever 21 was like a treat. Like, it was expensive, even though now I go, I'm like, it's not that expensive. But anyways, I was thinking that I think when you have the money, you should save the cute stuff at the thrift shop for people who really need to thrift, even though it is good to shop secondhand. But there's other secondhand options when you have good money. First of all, like, you can go to a consignment shop, vintage shops, you know, like, or even Depop or something. I think if I had the money, I would definitely shop on Depop, even though I know it's all stuff that people are thrifting and just upcharging like by a lot. But you know, if I had the money, it's like whatever. But I also think that if I had the money to make a sustainable choice other than thrifting, there's so many sustainable brands out there that it's like we should be encouraging sustainable brands to like stay in business and keep existing. And we should, you know, our money is a sort of our way of also exerting our own sort of power and control over the market. And if you have the money to shop at sustainable brands, you basically show other companies that people are willing to spend their money at sustainable brands, and that it's a good thing for their brand to also be sustainable. So I'm like, if I had the money, I'd obviously be shopping at sustainable brands as well. I just don't have the money right now, but I think that that's like a more ethical option if you're like upper class. You know, if you're middle class, lower class, it's like whatever. But if you're upper class and you have the funds to spend on that, like, you definitely, I don't think you should be thrifting, to be honest, at all. I'm probably gonna not thrift when I'm rich, because I'm manifesting it. But maybe not everyone would agree with that. That was just my thinking today, and I guess my personal plan is like, I don't know, I think if anything, just thrift like online. I know there's so many clothes and thrift stores and stuff, but I just think that it sucks to go to a thrift shop and like there's not cute stuff anymore. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I know at the same time there's a lot of stuff at thrift shops, so it's like whatever. But I just think it's good to save that for people who need it, and also to support other sustainable options, because there's other ones out there. It's like, if you are making like a high income, it doesn't make sense for you to buy clothes that are like $5, you know, £5, when you could be spending $30 to $50 on sustainable brands that actually need the business. And then there's always going to be lower income people, middle class people that also need to shop at thrift stores. You know, that was just my thinking, but again, maybe people would disagree. Okay, next. This one is a little bit more out there, but I have a lot of shoes like this on my Pinterest boards, and I was really kind of shocked that I found these and they were in my size. But they're like these little Mary Janes. Aren't they so cute? I got them for £6 at just a normal charity shop, like one of those like cancer research ones. £6, look at that. And they're so, like, yeah, they're so my Pinterest boards. I feel like my shoes sometimes are so like old lady chic, but I kind of like that. I don't know. They also, to be honest, kind of remind me of like, have you seen the people on the internet that are trying to make this movement now where they're saying that basically big shoe is like, they always say big shoe, and it's like, is big shoe a real thing? But they're saying that big shoe has been forcing us all to buy narrow shoes, and that like cavemen had wider feet, but we are all forcing our feet into these tiny shoes, and they're like trying to retrain their feet to be wide again. But they're always showing like these shoe options of like shoes you should actually buy that aren't super narrow, and they're always like the ugliest shoes I've ever seen. But these are cute, so I'm not saying that for these, but they are kind of wider at the front than like your typical shoe. Like, they're not narrow. So maybe I'm opting out of big shoe now, you know. Big shoe it's loosening its grip on me. Okay, I also bought some CDs. I do have a CD player. I got it for £5 on Facebook Marketplace. I'll literally show it to you. I was actually already listening to one of the CDs I got, but it's just one of these types that's supposed to go on the wall, but I don't put it on the wall. I just like set it down, and it works for me. It's good. But you can probably find it somewhere else, but I did get it. I got it off Facebook Marketplace. But anyways, okay, I'm gonna show you guys the CDs I got. So I got this Alicia Keys one. I'm not usually a big Alicia Keys listener, even though I don't, like, not intentionally, but I just, like, don't usually listen to her. But this year I've been listening. Oh my god, I got so addicted to this song by the Backyardigans called Almost Everything Is Boinga. If you haven't heard that song, oh my god, I don't know what's going on with that song, but it is the best Backyardigans song. And it's just the best song. Like, I don't know, I'm like addicted to it, and Alicia Keys is actually on it, which is crazy because I didn't know Alicia Keys was in the Backyardigans at any point. But yeah, so I got this one, but it did have the Empire State of Mind broken down version, and I do really like that song. So yeah, I don't actually know the rest of the songs, to be honest. I don't know enough Alicia Keys, but I don't really care. I just like listening to my CDs. I'll be listening to anything. Then I got Just Like the Carpenters. I am a casual the Carpenters listener. I have like a few songs I really like, and actually this one has a lot of the good ones. So it has like Superstar, Close to You, yeah, Please Mr. Postman. So I guess this is like I didn't know this was all on the same album, but yeah, so I got this. And then this was such a good find. I actually just did the most insane meditation to these, and I literally felt like I was in a tunnel to another dimension, and it was crazy. Like, and also it was really weird because the music was matching up with every point in the meditation that had nothing to do with this, and it literally stopped and ended the minute I finished the meditation, so it was like meant to be. But anyways, it was really weird. But I felt like I was in like a soundscape. But I found these two like brainwave music sort of CDs. So this one is Alpha and this one is Theta. It's also kind of cutesy because I've been working on a project in neuroscience, and it has to do with, well, it has to do with gamma oscillations. But yeah, so it's kind of cutesy to have like the little brain, like the not brain waves, but like oscillation wave music, and it was really good. Like, it was really transporting me to a whole nother realm. But anyways, so it's kind of fun. Okay, and then this is kind of a funny thing to include in a haul, but I also did stop at like a little like veggie stand, and I got some pretty fruit that I'm going to show you. First of all, persimmons are the most elite fruit in the entire world. Yeah, they're so good, and I already ate 2 of them, but they were like 4 for a pound, so I got a bunch of persimmons. And then I got some nice little mangoes, which I'm probably going to eat right now too. It's been really hot in London, so it's like I need some fruit. And then I've never actually cooked these vegetables. I guess they're like little eggplants. I don't know, but they look pretty good. I like just eating random veggies. I would just cook like saute random veggies and then just make rice on the side and eat like a bunch of veggies and rice. And yeah. So I just thought they were so pretty. Like, look how pretty they are. Okay, now to talk about the thing that was actually on my mind, which is the fact that I feel like I went through like a second puberty after getting into my like spiritual journey / into psychology / into like, I don't know how to put it, but there was just a point where I just had such a switch over, and I moved to a new country, and I was getting really into like manifestation and all this stuff. I feel like obviously we all have our puberty when we're like teenagers, like, I don't know, 12, 11, 13, and your body goes through so many changes, and you just feel so awkward and so like new and like a little like duckling that's learning how to walk and all this stuff. And I feel like I went through normal puberty, and then I came out the other end, normal human being. But I feel like I wasn't yet very like aware of myself. I don't know, like in a different way. I feel like I wasn't aware of like my own mind, the way I created my circumstances in the world, and I was just operating at the at the level that I was operating. I don't know how to put it. I was so stuck in different little toxic cycles in my head, and I don't think I had the awareness to know how to navigate them yet at all. Okay, now to talk about the thing that was actually on my mind, which is the fact that I feel like I went through like a second puberty after getting into my like spiritual journey slash into psychology slash into like I don't know how to put it, but there was just a point where I just had such a switchover and I moved to a new country and I was getting really into like manifestation and all this stuff. And I feel like okay, obviously we all have our puberty when we're like teenagers, like I don't know, 12, 11, 13, and your body goes through so many changes and you just feel so awkward and so like new and like a little like duckling that's learning how to walk and all this stuff. And I feel like I went through normal puberty and then I came out the other end, normal human being. But I feel like I wasn't yet very like aware of myself. I don't know, like in a different way. I feel like I wasn't aware of like my own mind, the way I created my circumstances in the world, and I was just operating at the like I don't know, at the level that I was operating. I don't know how to put it. I was so stuck in different little toxic cycles in my head, and I don't think I had the awareness to know how to navigate them yet at all. Um yeah, I was like I was in a situationship and I was so like getting like I was actually very like attached in a very like disorganized way. Like first I was like avoidant, then I was anxious. I didn't really know like I wasn't aware of that. So I was just moving through the world like unaware of how to navigate myself, right? I knew I was having like issues or something, but I didn't really know how to fix it. Like I just took things at like face value and I didn't really know how to navigate myself in a self-aware way yet. I wasn't aware that I was getting into situations because of certain elements of myself. Like I wasn't aware that like, oh, my self-worth is low and that's why I'm attracting these kinds of friends. And things like that. Like I really truly wasn't very aware. Like I was just moving through the world kind of like blind. And then I went through traumatic experience. I started to develop myself more. Like all of a sudden I started to get content about like spirituality, psychology. I started learning about attachment styles. And like identifying with that. I started to get more into like really like baseline spiritual things that you see online. So like started to get into like meditation, listening to like, those little like audios that have like vibrations and stuff. Like I was, really just like basic new age spirituality sort of vibes that you can just find online. But that was still an important switch. I also started to do different things in the context of that. Like I started to learn about shadow work. I started to learn about myself more and started to see that I needed to go on like a self-love journey. Again, really simple, like starter, almost like the spirituality starter pack. Self-love journey. I started to get more confident. I started learning how to do makeup, started working out. I started like just doing more things for myself, and my appearance changed a lot because I didn't usually carry myself like I didn't carry myself confidently. I didn't carry myself like an attractive person. Then I started to learn about that, learned that I needed to be confident. I don't know why I'd never in my life learned, oh, you need to be confident. You need to act confident. Like I just like took it at face value that I just like sucked and I was weird and that was like bad, stuff like that. That was just like, what, looking back, it's like, why, how would you not just think to do that? But like, I don't know. It never like struck me somehow. And then I started to get on this little spiritual journey, whatever. I learned all these things, right? At that point, I started to script. Like I started to learn about manifestation, but all I knew was like you script or like you write stuff over and over again. I never really did. I've never been the kind to be like, I'm going to write an affirmation 555 times or whatever. But I did script, and I would script like who I wanted to be, what I wanted my life to be like. And things actually started to manifest for me pretty quick, even though I wasn't doing any techniques. Like I wasn't really even that aware about manifestation at all. Like I was just learning the basics. But I would just look back and be like, hey, that's pretty cool. Like that's cool that that's happening, right? But even knowing all of this and even being like meditating and etc., I was still stuck in so many toxic cycles within myself. I was stuck in like victim mode so often, even though I thought I wasn't, because I was being strong and I was like, I'm being resilient, I'm being persistent. There were still a lot of different ways that I was stuck in victim mode still, because I would just get in these little resentments and these little like stuck energies, and I would sort of blame other people in my head or whatever, and it's like I didn't fully still have the awareness of how I was contributing to situations in my life, beyond, oh, like I'm anxiously attached, I need to work on that, or I need to love myself more, just again like really baseline sort of things, but I didn't really know how to implement them. So then I had one crazy summer where I had like absolutely awful mental health for a minute, and a lot of crazy things started to happen. I met a friend who was really spiritual too, so that was pretty cool. And I feel like I just randomly started running into some soulmates sort of vibes. I started meeting spiritual people kind of out of the blue, or yeah, people that were kind of on that wavelength. And then I had like random sort of things happen. Like I got laid off from my job out of the blue, and I ended up, my sister just happened to be going to London like right then with a friend, and she was like, well, just come with me. And I ended up going to London for the first time, and which I ended up moving here. I wasn't thinking I was going to do that when I went there, so that was pretty cool. And I feel like I've had like a whole storyline here, so I feel like it was really, I mean, obviously looking back all along, I can see spirit or my intuition, whatever, but the universe guiding me. But I think it just started to happen in like a heavier way. Like I was just, I just started to see spirit like moving me places, and I came back. Actually, the interesting thing is that I was taking my first psychology class that semester before, and I was really mentally ill, so I had to push my last assignment to be turned in at the end of the summer, actually on my birthday. And so I spent all summer reading about psychology books. I was in London, I was working on that psychology paper, and I actually was already starting to get my own theories together even back then. Like I didn't want to stick to just putting stuff from books. Like I wanted to even already start making my own ideas like back then. So when I came back from London, I went back for my last semester at school, and I started to work on my undergraduate thesis. And in my undergraduate thesis, it started to be really weird. Like really, not the paper was weird, but how it was aligned was weird. Like it was like I started to work, I wanted to like write about one topic, but I didn't know exactly what. I started to go like down the route of like, okay, well, let me do something about Brazil, because I was a Portuguese study student. And going the Brazil route, I read this one random paper about possession trance rituals, which turned out to be a dissociative experience. Or I started reading about possession trance disorder, which turned out to be a dissociative disorder. And I was struggling really heavy with dissociation, so I was like, that's crazy. And then as I went along reading, things just ended up being really weirdly aligned. Like I wanted to talk about my paper, and someone was like, oh, like, did you know dissociative disorders are very controversial? So I went and I read more papers, and I saw that one of the big controversies was like one of the exact things that I had just dealt with at the trial that I was like in the midst of. And so it was like really weirdly aligned, and I was like, this is crazy. Like now I'm actually writing about this problem happening in my life, and I was in zero way intending to write about this, but it just felt like a calling. Like I was like, oh, whoa, this is like the world, like the universe brought me back to this, so it was like kind of crazy. I was like, this is weird. So anyways, I had again really bad mental health year that year, but I powered through, got to the other side. So I left feeling super aligned with like a mission. I don't think I'd ever had such a strong sense of purpose or mission in my life. Like I had things that I wanted to do vaguely, like, oh, maybe I'll be like a journalist. Like that was my first thing. Maybe I'll be a journalist, or something like that. But I didn't have that strong sense of like, the world brought me here. Like I have something to say here. I want to unpack this. Like I want to add to the world here. And I love this. Like it really, I feel like that year I was really gifted like my mission and my purpose. And from that point on, it almost felt like a rebirth for me. So at the end of that year, I actually started just intuitively getting more into manifestation, and things started clicking more for me. So like I never really understood The Secret. How you guys know the book The Secret, and it says that your thoughts create your reality. I believed in manifestation, and I understood like the shadow work element. I understood scripting, but I was like, that's insane that your most minute thoughts could create your reality. Like, I think that's a little bit over the top. I think I was taking it too literal. So I don't know, but I feel like it clicked for me then. And for example, like, I don't think I ever had really realized how much it wasn't just about adding something to the world. I've said this in another video, but it wasn't about just I'm adding something by like writing a manifestation, but that I'm manifesting things all of the time through my attitude towards life. Like, I didn't realize how much it was like everything, you know? And yeah, so I started to get more into that thought process. Things started moving quick after that. Like, within a few months, I didn't think I was going to be able to move to London. It happened almost as if by magic. I was able to move. I like got here, and then this is where the second puberty thing comes in, because it's funny how I think, again, that whole thing was like this rebirth sort of cycle where I got to the end there and I found my purpose, and then everything in my life felt like it was like dying. So like my childhood house was sold, my mom moved, my dad left his apartment, so we didn't have any place to stay there, and then I had to like, everything was forcing me to move out of my hometown. I was like, everything was dying, all the way up until the end. So I moved to London, and then a relationship that I was really holding on to for a long time, it like died, right? Literally within the next 2 days, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get my hair cut. My hair, because I had it really long, but it was bleached. So it was very dead. It was pretty, but it was very dead. I went and I got a haircut, and they gave me the most horrible haircut of my life. It was like really short and choppy and ugly because I think they wanted to cut the bleach out. So I literally looked so bad. I looked awkward. And then I was in a whole new place, so I felt awkward. I feel like every time I'd be around people, like, I literally felt like, you know, like a baby deer who's like trying to learn to walk. That's how I felt. Like, everything felt as if I was doing it for the first time in my life. Like, I felt like I was literally like going through puberty completely again, in the sense that I had to learn myself 100% again. I had to navigate so much awkwardness and learn and gain so much awareness and learn so much more. Like, I think that I just got such a deeper awareness of myself and the way that I was moving through the world. And yeah, I just had to rebuild myself from nothing. Also, like, I had my hair dyed all through college. Now, this is the first time I've had my natural hair grown out to this length since high school, but it looks completely different than it did in high school. My hair did not look this good because I learned how to take care of my hair, like all these different things that were happening. And it was like having the second puberty all over again, where I had an awkward phase. Like, I was just really deeply awkward. Like, I don't know, like everything was awkward. I feel like I looked awkward. I was like really, I'd stopped really being that shy in college, even though I was still kind of quiet, but I wasn't that shy. But I feel like I started feeling really shy again around like everybody, and I didn't know like how to like present myself or how to express myself anymore, like, because I think I was in such a deep rebirth stage of like, I don't even know who I am right now, you know? Like, I have this chance. I think it's because I had this chance all of a sudden to be a completely new person if I wanted to be. And it was, yeah, it was really like this heavy rebirth period. So anyways, I do think I feel like now I'm getting into my like spiritual like teens. Like, I'm maybe like spiritually like 14, 15, where it's like the puberty isn't like that bad anymore. It's like normal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're kind of normal now, but you're still getting like the hang of yourself. But I was like, I feel like when I moved here, I was spiritually like 11. Like, my whole early life, even though I was like older, I was spiritually like very young. Like, I don't know how to put it. I was spiritually like a baby, or I was spiritually like completely like much younger. And I feel like once I started to get into my spiritual journey the first time around, I was maybe like 9 or 10, where you're like, oh, I'm gonna be older soon, and you're thinking about high school, but you don't really know what it's actually gonna be like to be older. And then once I hit that heavy part of my spiritual journey, where I was like, okay, I'm aligned with like my purpose, everything's dying out, I'm moving, that was like spiritual puberty, you know? Like, I feel like it gave me a chance to almost have that moment again. Particularly for me, that was nice, because even though obviously I had my puberty era when I was like, you know, a young teenager or whatever, I think that I wasn't that satisfied with myself still. Like, I didn't ever hit that stage where I learned how to do makeup and I was confident. Like I was always kind of unconfident. So it was giving me like this rebirth. But anyway, so now I feel like I'm hitting my spiritual like 14, 15, and it's pretty cool. Like I feel like I just have a different sense of myself. I'm not 100% there yet, but I just have this sense of awareness over myself, and I feel like I'm leaving that awkward stage where my hair doesn't look weird anymore. My hair is starting to look normal. Not starting to, it looks normal now. Like it just looks like normal hair, other than like before it was like crazy and choppy and all this stuff. And I feel like I'm learning how to navigate my life again, and I just feel better, and I also feel more attractive. Like I feel pretty again. I was not feeling pretty for a long time since moving here because I looked awkward. Even my face changed significantly. Like I just literally looked worse, and my hormones were out of whack. So in every way it was like a puberty. But yeah, just know if you're heading into a spiritual journey of some kind, like I think there's definitely a puberty there's definitely like a puberty era where everything is just really awkward and you don't even, it's super weird to like be in yourself and navigate yourself because it's almost like you're doing everything for the first time again. So that was my chat today. I was just thinking about that.